In the meantime, the Mavericks and Sixers both got to work Friday with their respective media days. The two teams will head to China for exhibition games. They got to work a little earlier than the rest of the league. In Philly, the Sixers begin camp with serious expectations and the aftermath of a seriously weird offseason that featured the resignation of GM Brian Colangelo over his Twitter habits. On the floor, Philly featured the Rookie of the Year, returned to the playoffs and won a series both for the first time in 6 years, which means fans will be asking for even more. And Joel Embiid, he agrees.
Looking at last year, we won 52 games, so you got to go over that. You got to win 55, 60, 65, 70. You got to go over that. So that would be a fair season if we don't do that. We showed a lot of potential, and when I look at it, we also struggled at the beginning too. So we were learning how to play with each other. We got the starting five. I don't know what the starting five is going to be, but I think last year we had the best starting five in the NBA.
This summer was great for me, just putting up shots. I've never been on a team where I needed to put shots up. Honestly, I've never needed to shoot. I never had somebody to teach me to shoot. So it's like there's something I'm new at. So I have all these people saying I can't do this. It's like, obviously I can't because I never practiced it. So this is really the first summer where I've had time to practice and work on my shot. Which gives me a lot of confidence. I'm the type of person, you teach me one thing, I kind of pick it up pretty quickly. But at the same time, I'm not going to come this year and hitting threes, shooting threes, because that's not my game. But I'll take a lot more jumpers. I feel very comfortable taking, elbow shots, mid-range shots. I'm not worried about that part of it. It's more the fact just taking them. And I know I'm not going to hit every shot. I might go for 6 jumpers in one game. But it's more of the mental side of it, just taking them.
Ben Simmons and Embiid with our Jared Greenberg, of course. Headlines for me there that Embiid wants to win 70 games.
That's awesome.
And
why not 80?
Ben Simmons has never practiced shooting. Apparently.
Interesting thing. That
it is a really interesting thing for a basketball player at any level, let alone an NBA player, the number 1 overall
pick. I practiced shooting.
I was a terrible player. I practiced shooting a lot. A whole lot. Never got any good at it, but I practiced a ton.
That's the point.
Obviously, the expectations now that they've won a playoff series, they're going to be through the roof there in Philadelphia. This is still a really young team for the most part. Their best players are really young.
Yeah.
It's a reasonable expectation.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see if they can do what Joel Embiid said. He's going to do 70, but can they win 55, get close to 60 wins in a East without LeBron James in it? I suppose that's possible.
Sure. They won 52 last year.
They did, but remember now, they lost 2 guys that were in their rotation that played huge roles for them.
Yep.
Bellinelli and Ilyasova during the playoffs played massive roles for that team, and they lost both of them in free agency. Now, they will have, if all the reports are back, Markelle Fultz back in a more meaningful role this coming season. If Ben Simmons can make more jumpers and is willing to take them, that will continue to keep the floor spaced and balanced. They bring Redick back. So I think Embiid's right. Their starting 5 was as good as anybody's in the league last year. My question is who comes off the bench to provide that kind of oomph that they got from those vets last year?
Well, and they do have Wilson Chandler. Remember, they picked him up over the offseason as well. Presumably, they're a little deeper with Fultz coming off of the bench now.
He's going to be very important for them.
Absolutely, and hopefully he's completely healthy, as we are led to believe. On the other side, before he rides off into the Dallas sunset, Dirk Nowitzki may spend a little time riding next to Rick Carlisle.